Yeah, you can either make a different scene for individual games, or you could just use a different source for them when they're one and them when they're the other.
Interesting. Alright then. I have to set that up then, because I've just been changing their image every time. And they're in multiple games, so I have to change it often. Anyways, we are now live. Looks like everything is running good. So, who would like to give the recap for inspiration?
Nothing much really happened last session. We kind of just finished up cleaning up the two brood mothers, had very explosive combats, got rid of some fire, decided to rest the night slash day before going up into the treasury room to figure out what's in there. Copy down a couple spells, and then we went up, found a whole lot of loot, and a lot of sessions just fighting and loot distribution.
I mean, yeah, pretty much.
We did
Alright.
find the cure seed, so that's important.
That is important indeed. You guys have acquired the seed needed to cure the disease running rampant within Ravenshire. There are a total of 3 seeds, just as a reminder since it's been a bit. One within the mountains, so you sent some of your companions from the rebellion out towards, while you guys headed to the tower here, which you have now acquired the seed of. And your goal, as a reminder here, is that after you have concluded this place, you are to head to Duskwitch. At least that's what you informed the other group. And to meet there, to go and find the 3rd seed together.
And also, we have to go kill that fake priest man.
Yep.
Or, murder equivalent.
There was indeed a occultist activity involved that Ragna was taken captive of. And they claim to have spoken of one Malrathis, who was supposedly a priest of the town of Duskwitch. So yes, stuff to go there. But you guys have found yourself within the Blackthorn Tower, having fully looted and scribed all of your shoops and whoops. And you just got some fat stacks of loot. What would you like to do?
Oh, get on the road, I guess.
And get on the road, keep to our original plan, do some drive-by murder. All the good stuff.
Yeah, because we're like 7 XP away from leveling.
Exactly. Let's just run over some goblins.
But yeah, no,
Sorry.
there's really no reason to stay here. I think we're being very polite not burning it down.
That can be fixed.
Eh, that sounds like a lot of, not getting into a random encounter on the road.
True.
Alright, question, just since you gave me a little concerned statement there. What level is everyone?
We're level 6.
Yeah, 6.
Okay.
We fell just short of leveling, I believe. Not, I don't think it was as drastic as I'm making it out.
It's
but,
really not. You guys gained 30 experience over what you needed to level up, so you guys are 180 after 230. So I was like, did you guys forget to level up or something? Oh god. But no, you guys are level 6. You're accurate. You guys are at 180 after 230, so you're not quite, there. Base level experience to get to level 6 is 150, so, making progress, but you're not super close. Alright. But if you guys are ready to head on out, let me go to the world map for you guys.
I am going to go ahead and use the bird's eye viewing power I get from Malthus, so that we have a bird watching us as we are riding along.
I
Alright.
believe this is the first time we start traveling since I got the speed increase thing too. So, travel pace is doubled.
Very nice, very nice. All right. It's going good to note. I'm gonna go and grab that up. As you have any particular bird you're wanting to summon?
I guess it just has statistics that are Raven. I can make anything. I am going to look up birds.
Okay.
I'll let you know.
Well, a bird summons forth from the aether, allowing you to gain insight upon what lies ahead, or at least potentially.
It probably would just be a Raven. Yeah.
Gotcha. Alright, in that case, as you guys begin your trek outside of Blackthorn Tower, you guys do intend to head to Duskwitch, yes? Or would you like to change your plan? Because I remember you guys talking in chat about changing plans.
I mean, Duskwitch is on the way back anyway.
It's true.
I don't see why we would change the plans, especially since we'd be stranding our allies who don't know the change of plans and would be like, "Oh God, are they dead?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
All
I'm
right.
still waiting for us to get to Duskwitch and then to find out that our allies are dead.
So, as you set forth along the road, would you like to travel at a slow, medium, or fast pace?
Who's driving?
I think it's mostly been me, but I don't really think any of us actually really are good at driving.
Telegraphers, merchants, ritual weavers. Nope, I do not have any vehicle proficiencies.
I have handle animal. That's about it.
Vehicle proficiencies are very useful to have. They are not required to drive the vehicle. They are required to drive it effectively if you guys end up in combat.
Did
Otherwise, no one can be used.
I
Did,
forget who usually drove the vehicle, but
did
I
your
also-
abilities only work? Did your speed abilities only work if you were driving? Like, don't you make us go faster?
I don't think I have to be driving, but I have to be leading the party, I think, for that.
Leading the party means that you are the one making any relevant checks involved.
Okay, well, then you were probably the driver.
Yeah.
From my knowledge, from you guys' travel, Garridan was always in the front, so whether driver or passenger, as it was viewed as having a friendly face in the front. As, you know, racist land is racist.
Oh, okay, hold on. Okay, so the only time I need to be in the front as to increase our speed is apparently when we're trying to make advantages on checks and saves to resist exhaustion, forced marches, or environmental effects.
Mm-hmm.
Either way, I think we were splitting it up. Like I was driving half the time, you were driving half the time.
Yeah, because we were like two human faces.
And you now have a boost to travel speed as well, Devil?
Yes, but I just have to be within 60 feet of the 10 people I can.
Gotcha. And you, is this effectively a double pace?
It's a double, yeah.
Cool. All right.
Yeah, and then mine's a 50% increase.
Mhm.
Do those stack?
What is yours from, Devil?
Mine is Totem Spirit Elk,
It
whether
would stack.
mounted or on foot.
And mine is the legacy.
Yeah,
My legacy item. So.
All right. Slow, medium, or fast pace as you guys head out. Now that I've gathered all of your bonuses.
Medium pace.
Medium pace.
Medium sounds good.
Yeah, that works. I mean, our medium pace is already pretty fast. I can't see us not getting there before the others.
And you are traveling with those kitty cat creatures, yes? Okay. Means we're looking at this pace here.
You have to take that creature.
Yeah, we have the
Goat cats.
panther goats.
Oh, we have one. We have Atticus and then my warhorse.
I guess in Sullivan. Then you have the horse, yeah. Alright, here we go. That is my travel pace. I'm very good. Alright, cool. Staying up on the road. You guys begin the trek east and then northward, heading out towards the village of Duskwitch.
Could I make a check? Know how long it would be until we got there?
Give me nature.
I have cartographers.
Give me that. That'll be more appropriate. Lowers the DC.
I'll assist as I also have cartographers.
Huzzah.
Intelligence. Efficiency.
Rip.
Oh, wow.
That's a big old ripperoni right there. Alright. Your mind's a little too lost upon all the new spells that you've been acquiring. You're not fully focused on the task at hand, and you kind of just like think about the question for a bit, and then your mind wanders back to all the spells that you've been memorizing. So unfortunately, the 9's not going to get anywhere.
I was mostly. Then I'm just going to try to copy a first level spell as we're traveling.
All right. Rolling encounter check.
Less than 2 hours. Fine.
All right, you guys would reach the village of Duskwitch after 5 hours of travel. Your travel was unhindered, though you would hear strange calls from the forest around you. But overall, you were not halted by anything or anyone. I'm just gonna go and adjust.
Legitimate question.
Hmm?
Did we just happen to be close to Duskwitch, or do we just move stupidly fast?
With the 2 times pace, or more actually 2.5 times pace, because of the plus 50% plus 200%, your base speed with your kitty cat meow in the forest here is 3 times 2.5, so 7.5 is essentially per miles per hour. And the town itself was about 5 hours away with that distance, so about 35 or so miles.
Okay. Alright.
Yeah. Previously, if you're walking, as a note, walking in this forest would be about 1.5 miles an hour at medium pace. About half the pace of your kitty cats. And that's not with the boost that you're providing, so it can go pretty slow. But you guys got cats and you got travel boosting companions. Anyways, doesn't take you long, as you guys do reach the village of Duskwitch. Or, Hamlet of Duskwitch is the more accurate
Do you have
term.
a copy going on?
Do I?
Do you have Echo?
Hear an echo.
I don't hear one.
It might just be on the stream.
Is this on the stream?
Oh,
I don't hear one.
I opened the wiki, the Royal Anvil, and autoplays.
Yeah, it autoplays, yeah. I had to mute it, so I went... I figured out that was the echo like 5-6 sessions ago, and I muted it now. Because apparently you can't have it set to not autoplay. Anyways. Alright. My GoXLR control panel looks good too, so there's nothing here that might be causing it as well, so okay. Yes. You guys reached the town. It is beginning of the afternoon when you arrive. The sun is high over the horizon, though. Due to the nature of these woods, it is still dark, or at least somewhat shadowed around the area. Snow is falling around you, and you can hear the faint trickle of water as you cross the bridge into the village proper. And I'm going to grab your tokens and put you on the village map. Grabbing tokens. I believe the map has you guys heading north into town, so I'm going to go and adjust the caravan heading that way. Alright, just organizing the caravan real quick. There we go. Copy. And Duskwitch. Make visible to players. Yep. And Costa. I was almost correct on the angle. I should have had the vehicle. It's fine. Alright, let me know when you guys are loaded. Cool. All right. As you steadily make your way, clip-clopping across the bridge into town, the snow drifting down, gracing the tarp above your wagon, you can see shutters begin to close around buildings as you enter inside this dreary hamlet. Very faint smoke rises from one of the larger buildings in the center of town, from a very obvious chimney, indicating that at least some places here might be more welcoming than some. Townsfolk themselves shudder themselves away, hiding from you as you enter into the town. You can see that there is a lone pier with a...
Sorry, give me 1 sec.
I don't know if that was referencing towards me or... I'm gonna eat this candy real quick before I continue.
Okay.
I feel like they were talking to Remy right then.
Probably.
Yeah. Anyways, the pier itself has a single ship tied to one of the pier posts. You can see that the ship itself is most certainly haggard. Plenty of the boards upon it are decaying, and you see that if it were not for the fact that it's tied up, it'd probably be at the bottom of this river here. Holy fucking shit. Hello, Tiff. Very much appreciate the raid.
Nice.
So you're saying that the boat probably isn't seaworthy.
You know, the boat is definitely not seaworthy.
Good thing we're not at sea.
It's true. But yes,
Sorry about that.
it's all good. Now, you guys are now within the village of Duskwitch. It is most certainly not a welcoming village, as they are shutting themselves away from you. But there's one building here that seems to be particularly welcoming, since I don't know when you had to go. So there's a brief
Yeah,
recap.
I heard that.
Cool.
You know, I'm sensing a pattern here.
Is the pattern that we are not welcome in most places?
Something like that. Well, we should look for an inn or something.
Indeed, it is cold.
It's been a whole 5 hours. The building that is still smoking in a chimney, does it actually look like lodgings, or?
From your angle, you can see that there seems to be a sign hanging from the curved roof, indicating it is some form of establishment. You can't exactly tell if the sign itself is a inn sign or if it is like a shop sign, but good money's betting just due to the size of the building, it's probably an inn.
All right then. Let's make it so.
All right. Trotting your way into town, you guys would push through along the lonely streets as yet more windows are shuttered and closed off. You can see that there are a few townsfolk that seem to look at you with fear, and others, as I believe a few of you have a high enough passive perception, just making sure. Thana would notice, as well as Ali, Cry would also notice. Some of these townsfolk seem to look at you with hope. Otherwise, they do not make any interactions, any go and greet you. They are most certainly still closed off and wary.
What was this
Thought I was worried.
gentleman's name again?
Gentlemen?
The priest.
Malraphis. That is the priest that you heard of from back during the cultist attack that captured Ragna, and their claims of his most glorious light bringing them salvation.
All right.
And spelling of that would be... There you go.
Ah. Perfect.
Well, seems like we have a cult leader to kill.
Seems like it's about to be mouth-in time.
I do not get it.
You know.
I get it. Good one.
Yeah, high five.
High five. Slap. High five slap.
Alright, so in that case, will it be the accidentally caught fire in their sleep? Or
Maybe we should, see how this plays out a bit first. Gather some information. Because I'm pretty sure if we just kill a man, even though we think we're right, and we have some reason to believe that, pretty sure that's still murder. In their eyes. Now, if he's being completely unreasonable and we need the seed, then yes. We should also keep in mind that the last thing we need right now is, the Empire looking for us.
fair enough.
What do you think the probability is he's going to be completely unreasonable and not give us a seat?
Well,
Oh, you know.
I mean,
Look, just so we're clear, we probably are gonna kill him. Just,
I mean, the real question is, we do it quietly, or if we, well, burn his house down.
Do we even know where he is?
Good point.
Like I said, we should do some research. Also, we probably shouldn't burn down a second town.
I
believe
have
I'd be able
no.
to locate him easy enough.
In that case, we'll leave that to you. I mean, poison always works. Unless he's undead.
I mean, statistically speaking, poison is one of the least frequent things that works.
Yes.
It's true. Oh look, I know what poison is.
I will briefly look to Wary and just... Yeah.
Anyway, if you want to scout about, perhaps you can kind of pass around remotely, but we should at least get ourselves established somewhere. It's going to look suspicious if we just, you know, keep circling the road.
So in time?
Eh, Well, yes, we should be in time. I feel like we beat the others here pretty sizably.
As
Let
you are
me rephrase.
discussing upon the road, you would see a building off to the northeast, a large wooden building about 3 stories tall of a square build. Door opens and light begins to pour out. And a man begins to walk towards your group, holding a torch in hand. You can see that he's dressed in military gear. Not particularly the Vazian military, just he's also wearing armor and he has a sword at his hip.
Mm.
Ooh.
Let me grab him.
Why do that? I'm getting up just for 1 minute. Next room.
Oh there! State your business in town. Been loitering for quite some time now. The citizen's a bit leery.
Lunara, who has a much better bluff than anyone else. We're simply counting our coin to make sure that we can stay at your lovely inn. They'll say both bluffing and also being slightly not necessarily intimidating, but like, hey, we're walking here.
Alright, give me a deception. And then give me an intimidation after deception.
Alrighty. I hope that. Okay, and skill check again. Wow, actually, I have intimidation trained.
And then intimidation check. Okay. Want to keep your business your own? It's fine by me. Just move along already. Stable's out back.
Sorry about her temper, sir. She's just hungry. Let's go. Let's move along now.
Alright.
Skirt.
Actually rolled really high on my insight check right then. Alright. You find that the stable out back is relatively well kept. Doesn't seem to house too much in terms of accommodations. However, you would see that there does appear to be at least one horse set within the stable here.
Oh, we got money. We'll get them set up. Speaking for Lenara, I'm sure she would want to make sure that they had extra blankets and such.
Mm-hmm. Alright. Here you go. I'm just gonna shucky duck you guys out of that. Are you heading inside the tavern or going anywhere else?
Well, I'm going to go in the tavern. I obviously, and I'm
Tavern.
going to have Lunara do that as well, unless someone wants her to go with them somewhere else.
No, into the tavern seems like a good idea to start with.
Tavern crew.
Where he will do his little cloak thing, just in case they don't like us here.
Mm-hmm.
And Ein will, of course, be in human form, just in case.
Are you also going to the tavern?
Should we just wait for the others to arrive before we go? We're looking for the uh cult leader, or should I go sniff him out real quick?
Oh, I
If
think
he
it's
if you can do it without being caught, then might as well. We are on a time limit.
I will be back within the hour then. I'll keep Ailey with you. They should be able to sense if something goes wrong.
All right, so you're going elsewhere.
Yes.
All right, and are you joining with them into the tavern, Ein?
Yep.
All right. Tavern crew is here, and you are going elsewhere. All right. I'm going to shucky duck you guys inside of the tavern, just off to the side of the map. And I'll be popping down some tokens in just a moment for you guys. But while that's going on, where are you going? Cry.
Cool. So I kind of saw something like this coming. That is why I binded to the turn feather. I now have expertise in stealth. While I am attuned to them, I am going to go ahead and cast invisibility for an hour while I am going around snooping.
snooping as usual.
Is that okay, I have bird's eye viewing, so I have a bird following me around, telling me if anyone gets close. And then I am going to stick my hand out as a three-headed dog eats a raven flying by. Nabarus, I need your assistance for a moment. As I use my extra uh, vestige to summon my trusted vestige, Nabarus, the Grinning Hound, who I will use the ability Noble Bloodhound, where I will spend the next minute while I am uh, bound to Nabarus to go sniff out the most uh, influential creature within 1 mile, which I kind of assume would be the cult leader.
Well, within 1 mile, let me go check to see if they're in range for that.
At the very least, we'll find out if he's in town.
Well, you're going to get someone. You don't know if it's him, because it's the most influential figure within 1 mile, so someone in town will meet that criteria, even if it's a beggar. Or even if it's, a small child who might happen to be the only person here. If there's someone here, they will be pinged. But let's see here. All right. The most influential figure within 1 mile gives off a... I'm just reading to see if it gives you an actual scent of what they smell like, or if it's just an odor. Gives off a warm and inviting stench. One that seems to take whiffs of cinnamon and cloves. And it seems to come from the west.
Okay, I will be following that scent as long as I can.
Alright. make your way down this alleyway of houses before opening up into a bit larger of a town road, where a larger building, better maintained than the others, appears just around the corner. And within this building, the scent originates.
Which one?
The one that looks completely different than the others. Right here.
Oh. Well, I guess I will sneak up to it and try to peek inside.
Alright. Roll me a stealth and a perception.
Okay, my stealth has a +3. I have advantage because I'm invisible. Perception. My stealth is not added. That should be a 22.
22. Alright. Sneaking up to the building, no one seems to notice your presence. As you reach the window, you begin peering inside, and you notice that the building itself seems to be a well-kept home of sorts, though it seems to be home for many more than one would expect in this building of this size, or at least that appears what it seems due to the number of plates and cups and other tableware within the nearby table that seems to house about 10, maybe 12 people. The majority of this main chamber is, in fact, taken up by this table, and you can see, as you're looking through, there appears to be a bunch of children running around, causing all sorts of havoc from within, many of which are actively playing with toys or drawing upon different pieces of wood within the building itself, causing all sorts of mischief. And throughout all of this mischief, the scent that seems to be coming from a relatively hunched over figure, white robes. You can't really see their face at this moment as they're in the back area of the building itself, but you can see that they are currently kind of either bent down further than one would think is comfortable, as if they are like looking down on someone even with their hunched back, or perhaps they are just really that crooked. But you can see that they seem to be that they're talking to someone. And I will make their token visible.
Well, it kind of makes me happy that the most influential person in the town is not a cultist. Maybe.
Alright, and with a 19 perception, is that enough to hear through everything? Distance-wise, you're looking at that, so that's plus 2 to the DC, plus base DC of that, plus the difficulty of the building itself. You can't make out exactly what they're saying, but you do hear muffled talking.
Wish I had observed. Okay. I see a window over here. I'm gonna try to go over to that one to see if I can listen in.
All right. Make your way over to that one. I will be actively rolling some checks. I was really not expecting to roll that high. Okay, you had a 22 stealth, you said?
Yes.
Roll again, because you have advantage being invisible.
That was with advantage.
Oh. Okay.
I rolled a 13 and a 16.
I see. Okay. Well, with your 22 stealth, yes, that is the total?
I didn't boost it when I first rolled it, so I guess.
Alright. Getting around the corner, you begin picking up some of their conversation.
All right there, Daddy. If you would just help me out just this real quick. I have a lot of duties back at the church, and Well, you know your brothers and sisters, they are quite rambunctious right now. Oh, what's that?
We'll see her look up, rising from her somewhat hunched position, as she was indeed kneeling down. Still very crooked back, very, very hunkered over, like a... You think, even though she's probably about 6 feet tall normally, she's looking about like 5'5" due to her hunched nature. She's really hunched over. But she looks towards your general vicinity.
Huh. What's wrong, Nan? I don't know. I think I saw something by the window there.
Huh.
Just maybe the wind.
She'll close some
I'm gonna-
curtains.
Holds my breath and hides against the side of the wall.
She'll close the window. Or more accurately, making sure it's actually closed rather than closing because it wasn't closed.
Why ain't window closed? It's snow.
Well, you know.
I was wondering why it was why the village hadn't shuttered their windows already.
Lots of tiny children, hot rooms. Got
Also,
some
the
here
snow
for-
is somewhat recent. You guys, I believe you guys ended when it was just beginning to get cloudy, so. Anyways.
Anyways, yes, if you could, handle things here, I won't be too long, just, maybe an hour or so. Of course, Nan, anything, you know me, happy to help. There's my girl. Alright, if you need anything, do remember, I left the notes for you on the cabinet, and if anything were to happen, yes, Nan, I know, go speak with... Okay, listen. You know how I worry. There's this force, it's... something about it. It's... These...
She seems lost for words. Perhaps not due to the lack thereof, but lack of trying to explain it to someone so young.
Just be careful, okay, dearie? I will, Nan, I will. Just... I have things here covered. Alright.
Was there any identifying marks of like what religion she follows?
She doesn't seem to have any symbology upon her. Though she does seem to have, whether a scar, as she did obviously give you a pretty good look upon her face, or perhaps tattoos, as the coloring is a little strange. Silvery markings around her eyes and cheeks, kind of accentuating the features, but also striking through them as if they were claw marks or burn marks of some magic or creature. They themselves appear to be fairly symmetrical, uniform, like straight lines going from the top of the eyebrow next to the crook of the nose down to the bottom of the chin, one running along the cheekbone, and then, symmetrical on the other side of the face. Which is obviously a little strange for someone who appears to be human. But you would see them move over to the edge here where there appears to be a coat rack. Even though they're already wearing a cloaked robe of sorts, they would put on a heavier jacket of thickened leather, grab a walking cane, and begin the door. You'd hear a couple locks unlock and some children run by, start causing all sorts of mischief, and quickly Lara snaps them to attention as they ease their rambunctious nature for just the briefest of moments before Mother Strauss, or, you don't actually know their name yet, but the hunched figure fully opens the door, gives one last look inside, a nod, and begins hobbling her way outside before closing and locking the door.
Okay. Cry is going to send the Raven to keep an eye on Mother Strauch. Strauch?
Mother Strauss.
Strauch. And Cry will head back to the rest of the party.
All right. And you would see her take the west road out of town. And I'm going to shucky duck you towards the entrance. You're not quite there yet because they have some time before you join them, but just for ease when I need to grab your token. All right. As the party make their way into the tavern or inn itself, you would notice, one, the inn itself is fairly light in terms of participants. There's not a lot of patrons here. You'd see that what's actually on the map is accurate. There is a tiefling behind the bar, somewhat bluish, violety skin, long ginger hair, curling ram horns on either side, and bright green eyes that seem to be somewhat welcoming, definitely more so than everyone else in town. You can see off in the corner, there appears to be a pair of burly men currently enjoying a couple mugs of ale, and far off into the northwest by themselves is another man, single bottle near them in a shot glass that they seem to be drinking from every now and then, as they seem to be kind of leaning there, muddled within their own thoughts. Immediately to your left, as you enter the inn itself, is the soldier that you immediately encountered upon entering the town. And let me just go and get you guys the name, because you guys would see the name of the inn as you guys enter. So, where are you? There you are. You guys would see the sign itself appears to be depicting that of a open book, and upon the book, written in a somewhat cursive writing, is the name The Grey Page Inn. And there you go. You guys are now forced to the inn interior. As you enter, Tiefling would look up from behind the bar.
Oh, some new folks in here, eh? Alright, no problem. If you're needing some rooms, we have plenty open available. If you're needing something warm to eat or something nice to drink, could have fine stores available. Just let me know anything you might need, and I'll be sure to help you out.
I'm not gonna lie, I could eat.
Of course. Currently, we have a fine bunch of stewed meats. We also have on the retainer some fresh lamb if you're looking for a nice juicy mutton steak, or perhaps something a bit lighter. We do have some greens if you're needing a salad or the like. Just let me know.
I do love mutton.
That does sound good, actually. I'm gonna... Do I have an aura already?
Level 6 is when you get your Aura of Courage, or Aura of Protection.
Haha! like I did multi-class.
Now,
It's me.
that's fair. I don't know what the Aura's for then.
It's probably like a spell or something I cast, maybe? Yeah.
Yeah, it's probably that. There you go.
Right, what brings you fine folks to town?
Oh, just traveling, taking shelter. Seems things around here are a bit, downcast. What with the weather and all.
It's certainly a bit of a drill town, that. But, some of us try to stay chipper here. But not let that bring away the sunshine that will eventually come. Eventually. You're mentioning mutton. I certainly can provide some of that. Any drinks, any rooms, or the like?
How many rooms do we figure? Is it one? Do they have like one person each style rooms, or?
So I'll make the above floors visible so you can see what the options are. So if you go to the east, you can see the room availables. Every room is available. So you have singles, you have doubles, you have singles that are double beds, so, larger size bed. You have a few suites available, and you have a single triple.
Thinking we should do these, just so we're adjacent.
All right.
And then the girls can share, and I'll stay in a room with Wary, who I assume is probably not going to sleep in a bed, but like a blanket fort, unless anyone changes their mind. I guess there's 4.
You would know that Cry really likes their personal space right now.
Okay, so 1, 2, and 3, just to stay in a relatively close block.
Of course. Not a problem. And how long will you be staying?
How much is it for a night?
Let's see here. I have that in my my notes for the inn itself. Edit. Clientele. Here we go.
That'll be a gold for the night per room.
Where's our? Do we have our loot? Yeah, here we go. Our loot sheets pin.
I did add the gold everyone got to their sections.
All right, let me. Okay. So 3 rooms. I'll take out 50 gold. Assume a few days and such for meals and whatnot.
Of course.
What spread sunshine like? Putting out a few gold pieces.
Certainly got the point there. A lot of the folks here are, let's just say, the glint of gold is certainly its own sunshine. Let's see here. She'll put her hands under the counter, pull out a few room keys, place them on the counter itself. There you go. There are your room keys, and she'll provide you, how to get to the room. And of course, any meals you might need, any drinks, just let me know, and I'll be sure to send them up towards you. Or if you're wanting them down here in the cabin house, I'll send them to your table.
We do also have a couple of animals in the stable.
Right. This more than pays for their stay in the stable, and they're taken care of. Be sure of that.
Much appreciated. Thank you.
Of course.
It hasn't exactly been a comfortable journey. This hauler seems to be affecting a lot of places.
It certainly has been. From what I've been gathering, a lot of the dying lands has been. Some of that there ash has been flying north towards us. I think it's starting to get into the people's senses. I'm a bit wouldn't say mad, but definitely leery.
And nothing so sad as a closed door in these desperate times.
Hey, indeed. But, never mentioned why you were passing through.
Give me a moment. Trying to think of something convincing that's not entirely a lie.
We're
Well,
on our way to meet people.
that's a bit of a tale. We're actually gathering medicine, you see.
Ah, medicine, eh? Well, town's not quite, filled with able practitioners, I'm afraid, but the forest is filled with a wide variety of herbs and reagents, so it's not a terrible place to begin one search.
That's what we were thinking, but it seems very troublesome right now. And of course, we've been looking for new methods of treatment, and people seem to be going mad out there. No shortage of need for medicine, and especially those who know how to treat ailments.
How loud are you talking?
This is bar about like 5 feet across.
It's a couple feet, not 5. I tend to have my maps be about a yard per square, just for readability, essentially, on the map. Because this would otherwise be like a teeny sliver of the map if it were a 5 foot.
Alright. I'm talking to such a volume that Wary probably can't even hear me. Like, private conversation talking.
Gotcha.
Especially, what with throwing lots of gold around.
Yeah. Ariaza would have began very much boisterous, very, welcoming, loud tavern keeper voice. But you're transitioning to a quieter one. She would somewhat match it, though she is, by nature, louder and boisterous. Yeah. However, I do need to roll something for your most recent discussion. 2, 3, 4, 4 in the chamber. Alright. Seeing if they would actually interact. How drunk are you?
Hey, you're needing some medicine, the old master of the church. He's got quite the fine touch that can cure the sick, heal the injured. I try sticking them out.
I'm sorry, who should we be looking for?
Oh, Master Malrathis. Leader of the church here in town. Well, more accurately, north of town.
Did she introduce her? Did she give me her name, or?
Not. No, she has not.
If you'll excuse me, Miss,
Yeah, of course, not to worry.
do you mind if I pull up a chair?
Yeah, be my guest.
So you said look for this, Malrathis. Is he some kind of, herb monger, or?
Herb maybe. He's the local priest around here. Provides us spiritual guidance. He services, gives service every.
I'm pretty sure it's Sunday in universe. I just gotta go make sure because I do not remember off the top of my head, but I'm pretty sure it's Sunday, actually. Yeah, it is Sunday. Look at that.
He gives service every Sunday. We townsfolk make our way up the forest along the old hunter's trail.
What day's today?
Today would be see here. It is the 23rd, which means it is... today's Wheel Day, which is translated into a Wednesday.
My God, my dudes. This Malrathis, what is this just sort of general guidance, or is there a we have a patron or a deity of some kind? Should I ask for his assistance? Of course, I'd like to show proper respect.
He's a follower of the Holy Light. That's, the God that he brings unto us. Provides us his glory. And the...
You see him kind of nearly choke back some vomit. As he might be drinking a bit too much, but he seems to be talking fairly clearly for someone who's probably super drunk.
But, he keeps us safe, keeps us sheltered from the beasties out in the forest there.
I was actually wondering that. Is he a recent addition? With this damnable frost, it would seem as though having someone who worships such a holy light would be quite helpful.
He's somewhat recent, hasn't been here for too long.
I certainly hope that things are getting better. Sometimes on the road, speaking with mercenaries and whatnot. Yep, just let me know.
I was being talked at.
I'm fine. Essentially, I'm saying, well, I hope things do turn out well. Talking with some of the mercenaries and things on the road. Sometimes when you try to confront these beasties with too much up front, things tend to get worse before they get better.
And you're right about that. Just the other day we had a run-in. Fortunately, with his holy light, they weren't able to get past the barrier around the lumber mill, but every day now, the lumber mill's been seeing more activity. That's right. Even now, the foreman even crying about, what was it, a smuggling, I think. It's just hearsay. The poppycock them boys been giving out. Now I saw it. The smuggling, just large hulking being, with bloody claws. You sure you weren't just seeing one of them hags? I mean, I would know if I saw Mother Strauss. She doesn't have claws. She's got quite the tongue though, but not claws.
Hey, this I am impressed. Surely what's happening must be an uphill battle for your Malrathis if you're speaking so casually of hags. Most folk see them as quite terrifying. You must be a hardy town.
At this, the two before you will kind of give a nod, taking a nice swig.
Yeah. Malrath is certainly powerful. Keep us protected here. Keep our boys in check too.
At that, Alexander will look over his shoulder. Malfrafis certainly provides, but we give our own protection to the town, just as always. Their guidance, though it might guide our strikes against the fiends of the woods, it's still our blade that keeps you protected.
Yeah, we understand, We're just, Malrathis has been doing a lot for the town lately. We don't want to, undermine your help here, but Malrathis is, right.
With all due respect, what's the old phrase? It takes a village. It seems Malrathis, with focusing most of his time on this lumber mill, he must not have much room to make his way down here.
No, Malrathis comes here every couple days, but most part of they're focused out at the church. Recent building, you see, been helping with the lumber mill, been ordering a lot of lumber there. We've been hauling up there to the church and building a mighty fine chapel for them. Last couple of weeks they've been cloistered up there, though. Barely comes out, I would say, rather than their standard every 4 or 5 days, they only come down on service nights now.
He must be rightly mobbed if he's such a protector. I'm sure folk must be seeking his blessings whenever he comes down here.
You can arrive at any point now, Sky.
But if you'll excuse me, I'm going to rejoin with my folks.
Yeah, of course. Enjoy your drink.
And I'm sorry, they said did they say his name?
I believe they called him Alexander, yeah.
And can I insight to see, because he doesn't seem to be down with Malrathis. Does he feel like trying to insight to see if he doesn't like Malrathis because he's pushing him out of a job, or if he has more
Give me an insight.
pressing? Oh, I hit create charged item. That's not an insight. Okay, well, yeah, it's pretty good.
Alright. You definitely think it's more to it than just being pushed out of his job. There's definitely an air of distaste about this figure that Alexander houses towards Malrathis. Not open disgust, but enough to...
They said your name was Alexander. Yes.
Aye?
Please allow me to apologize for my friend's rudeness earlier. Perhaps I can make it up to you at some point, a meal or something. My friends and I, we have no want of coin, but if there is anything to be helped with taking care of this issue, especially, among the common folk, it's the least we can do for our less than warm greeting people.
Mighty kind of you. Yeah.
And look over his shoulder a bit.
Me'll be mighty appreciated.
Of course, we'll be staying here for a bit, as you might have noticed. So, at your leisure. Obviously, there's much going. I'll put a gold on the table, just for like
Mhm.
buy around.
Give a nod and go back to his drink.
Now that we've got everyone, perhaps we should sit down.
Wary will look over to Ariza and say, "We'd like some mutton, please."
Of course. Let's see here. She'll head on to the kitchen. You can see it's just a large opening. There's not any sliding door. There's no real curtain here. You can just see her actively cooking the meal upon the nearby hearth. Fire blazing everywhere. She doesn't seem to mind. Some of the fire is even licking her hands, but tiefling blood gives her that resistance, so she's just cooking all happily, whistling as she does so. Just a great big chipper individual compared to this town's dreary nature. And I'm gonna add some ambience because I realized the ambience stopped a bit ago.
Well, I was not able to locate who we are looking for, but I found that the most influential person who was in the town was a old nun woman. Didn't quite catch her name though.
Well, those gentlemen over there did mention a mother Rang,
Mother Strauss.
Mother Strauss. And they, from the way they were speaking of it, it appears that she might be a hag.
What she is keeping order in an orphanage down the street.
Oh,
It could
that's
just
not
be a cover.
disconcerting. I suppose it could be a rumor.
Or they're separate people.
I doubt there are many old nun women in this town. It seems fairly small.
Well, I did some speaking. Apparently, their local holy man, this Malrathis, resides in a facility to the north. He gives a sermon, a service of sorts every Sunday. So if we were looking for more avenues to solve our shared problems, that could be somewhere to go.
I did have a raven follow the nun. Give me just a moment.
Ooh,
And-
really not.
Cry's eyes kind of go blank for 6 seconds as they use their action to go listen in to the what the bird says.
All right.
She always this not subtle.
Well, normally she's by herself, kind of, secluded in her room, so I don't think she realizes when people can see her do her magic.
Meanwhile,
What, are we being subtle?
out in the forest, you would see Mother Strauss hobbling, more accurately, along the old forest road heading westwards. They're still just walking along the road, snow kind of drifting around them. Nothing really of note as they're
It was
walking.
just a quick 6-second look to make sure they're still being followed. And Cry is not able to hear or see when she does that, so she doesn't know what just happened. Oh, nothing suspicious so far.
Well, if this mother doesn't want to be a hag, it would be unwise to offend. Very rude. Apparently, there's also been issues at a lumber mill. Something about a smuggling, which I don't know if I would know what that is or if that's local jargon.
Do you have what are your lores?
Let me get that. Double check that for you. History Vazia, History Rilla, History of the Dying Land, Military Vazia, and Geography Vazia.
All right, you can give me a nature check.
Excuse me.
I have a Lord Dying Land Outsiders. Could I use that?
It's not applicable now.
Okay.
You can also give me a nature check.
Whatever it is, fast.
All right.
I don't think I have any relevant lures, but might as well roll.
Do you have any lores relevant to Vazia, Wary?
No.
Okay.
Oh, well. Edible plants, edible animals, and tribal customs. Maybe.
I don't know, maybe you can eat a smuggling.
Yeah, maybe.
All right. In that case, since you do have some relevance towards Vazia, your thing will be modified, but not as much as it would be if you had like fauna of Vazia. Garridan and Cry, you both would know a smogling is a creature often viewed as a strange spirit that comes forth from the mists deep within the night, within the woods here. It is said to snatch at the minds and the bodies of those who are at the edges of their slumber, in between awake and fully asleep. The smuggling itself drags off its victims to feed upon them within its cave, or at least so the tales say. The smuggling itself, from your knowledge, Cry, this, you don't believe this is just folklore of, some random town, which Garrison definitely would understand. This is probably just folklore. Wary, this sounds like something that's probably not tasty. You've never heard of a smuggling, but if you had probably encountered one, probably wouldn't be tasty.
Who's the bosses in the food?
Yeah. For Cry, though, the being most certainly not just folklore. You know it is a fey creature in origin, tied to the Unseelie courts. The smuggling itself, as the folklore suggests, is indeed one that will strike out at the moments of night where you are drifting off to sleep but not quite there. The being itself, similar to Redcaps, does have a certain bloodlust to it, and is said to be a small creature when first looked upon, that can rapidly transform into a hulking beast with great elongated claws and a smoky form, able to shift from shadow to shadow. And that's what you know from your basic knowledge, without any books on you or anything like that to look deeper.
Okay. Well, Cry will relay what she knows.
How pleasant. Well, perhaps if we wanted to, we could probably just go and seek an audience with this gentleman, although, of course, it would be tragic to rankle certain noses. The gentleman that greeted us when he came seems to be some sort of protector of the town. I did offer, in exchange for our discourteousness, we could perhaps help him take care of things if trouble starts brewing while we're staying here. A good way to learn about the situation here.
Mm, yes, but aren't we a bit short on time?
Well, we're still waiting for the others, so we would have at least until then. But you're not.
Oh, that's...
Still, perhaps we just, maybe for tonight we just let our birds roost.
You
And,
hear that, food? You can roost.
That's not what I meant. But I mean, I also guess yes. The point is, it's foolish to go wandering around on a snowy, dark night.
Yeah,
Best to wait for day.
it's certainly a fair point. Forest itself isn't the best to travel at night, and, well, the feeling if we were to wander the streets might not be the best use of our time, or more specifically, might not be the safest.
Right. Well, I'll put the 3 keys on the table. This one is for you, Cry. It's private. With the other ones, I figured girls will share, and me and Wary unless anyone has objections. Stables are also covered, and I suppose that also includes if you want to stay with the animals, either of you.
I've been held captive for quite a bit of time. I think I'd prefer the bed at this point.
Oh, well, no, I was looking at Wary and Fauna.
No, I
Fauna
see.
because, animal
Yeah.
caring, and Wary because, he might actually be more comfortable that way.
Mm-hmm.
Might be a good idea, though. The horse that wasn't ours might not appreciate my presence.
Well, even if you just stay near, do we have Atticus or Sullivan? I forget.
Atticus.
Well, even if you just stay near Atticus, you can still keep an eye on him. And somehow I'm sure I will survive having a room to myself. The loneliness will be crushing, but these are the sacrifices we make.
You got it. You want me to watch the horses. I understand.
Just mild teasing. If you don't have to, I wouldn't deny you a bed.
I I do have contact with Tulumka.
Look, I'm trying to be polite. I don't know if his, physiology would actually be more comfortable bunking up with, Atticus or Sullivan or whichever one it was. I already forgot.
Atticus.
It is debatable. I mean, it's cold outside, but Atticus is warm. We could share warmth, I guess.
I just do what you wish. I'm just trying to be, courteous.
I appreciate it.
Right. At this point in time, Ariaza will come out holding a steaming tray of warm mutton chops along with sides of mashed potatoes, baked vegetables, and what appears to be a side of freshly, I wouldn't say sliced, but freshly procured bread.
That looks wonderful. Thank you.
Ailey procures that bread.
Of course, of course. Hello
They
there,
kind
little
of like
fella.
dive at the bread, tackle it, and kind of just roll off as they're munching on it with it held between their paws.
You certainly have a rambunctious little... I don't know what that is.
Their name is Ailey.
She'll kind of bend low.
Pleasure to meet you, Ailey. I guess.
Happy emotions flood into Ariaza.
I take that as a well met then. Enjoy the meal.
Of course. If you wish to sit a spell, you're more than welcome. No disrespect meant, as it's beyond, it seems, most people's ability, but it seems comfort and companionship are a bit hard to find in this particular situation.
Well, it's certainly welcome, but lunch rush is about to start, I'm afraid.
And as she says that, the
Oh, right,
door
it's
here
been-
will
was
open
late.
up and the room will begin filling with citizens. Just people after people begin pouring in. Probably like half of the village itself pours into the tavern, just filling seats.
And there's my cue.
Would
I really
you like
have
some
been
help?
traveling for a while.
Hell, I wouldn't say no. Know how to handle a stove?
Technically, yes.
Certainly appreciate it.
She'll head on in here, and you'll see as you enter the kitchen, there's a few people kind of leaning against the wall here, and she gives them a nod, and they kind of kick off the wall, and putting on their aprons, which were kind of just like hanging over the shoulder, they will head on out to the front bar and begin managing the crowd. And she will begin cooking.
Is he also trying to get information, or did he just genuinely want to cook?
I don't know.
I mean, it sounds rude.
I think he
Yeah,
just wanted to
now.
be in the warmest place.
Good
Maybe
point.
that. It's quite cold out there, and, well, imagine they get chilled pretty easily.
Alright. Was there anything that you were wanting to get out of your cooking, or just you wanted to cook?
Mainly just wanted to help.
Excellent. Alright.
Look at Larry just being a good guy to be a good guy.
Mm-hmm.
Look, I'm also trying. I'm trying to be nice, but you know,
You guys arrived at lunch rush.
also
Priority.
trying to learn things.
So,
I'm just saying, I'm wanting to help. That's where his motivation. If he learns something randomly from just being there, then
I know,
hey.
I know. Just lighthearted teasing.
that's what I was about to ask if I can just listen in to conversations, maybe see if I can gain anything good with a gossip chat.
Yep, go ahead.
Same thing also. Though I would probably try to to somebody else before I do that, just in case.
I'm gonna
Gotcha.
gonna keep an eye out, just to make sure, cut off any trouble before it comes.
Alright, let's see here. You have a 17 gossip.
You know what? I have a free desk thing. I'm just going to use that.
Alright.
No. There's my button. 22.
22. Alright. A bunch of the townsfolk are, chitter-chattering just about, random day-to-day life, discussing how the local lumber's been going, discussing the most recent sermons, their views on the holy light, as it were. A lot of them are giving praise to Malrathis, perhaps a bit too much praise, one would think, just judging from how the majority of their conversations is on Malrathis and his church. But there's a few things of note that you would gather. First thing, apparently, a local lumberman by the name of Higgins has spotted or at least what he describes as a demon out towards the caves to the north. He apparently saw this yesterday, and as he was gathering up his tools for the evening out near the lumber camp near those caves, supposedly he saw a red-skinned fiend that shrieked out at him, causing him to fall back, breaking some of his tools even, which the foreman and some of the others are actually kind of teasing him, saying that he just tripped and he's trying to make excuses. Though he swears that he saw this demon, and though it disappeared after he stood back up, he knows it's out there, and there's definitely something going on. And he thinks that Malrathis should, perhaps send some of his acolytes out that way. Make sure the area is cleansed of the evil. Additionally, you would gather that the chapel itself, the one that they've been providing the lumber for, supposedly they've been sending out more lumber than the foreman thinks that they actually need to send out. He thinks that, judging from the requirements of the architecture that they were sent, the amount lumber that they have sent in return is far more than what would actually be required. I mean, the coin's still good, so I mean, they're sending it anyways, and they don't really have a use for this extra lumber right now, so they're just keep cutting trees since the local lords aren't putting any limits on them this season. At least nothing that they've reached just yet due to the lacks in lumber requirements this time of the year. But it's certainly interesting, and the folks themselves are thinking that perhaps there's an additional room added on that might not have been part of the core structural plan. Perhaps a place to send forth the holy light, or perhaps a place to request from practitioners even to head out to the chapel and speak with him directly, with this Lord of Light. And finally, in a bit hushed tones, since you have a 22, you would get the first two, Ein, with 15. With a 22, you would gather. There's been a lot of accidents going around town. A lot of people have been going missing, or have been struck dead through most horrible accidents, such as like falling off of the lumber mill and staking oneself upon a nearby rake. How surprising that was. Not really making it past the night even. Others might got lost and tripped and fell on a rock, and they were later found a couple days later. Some just move their way down the road towards the lumber camp for work, but never show up to work and never come back to town. There's definitely people missing, and this has been driving the rise in orphans of late. Normally, the orphanage is a couple kids, just due to the ways of the lords requiring of certain able-bodied soldiers, and then them falling to the beasts, as it were. At least that's what the Lord claims, that they are sent south to defend against the cursed ones within the Dying Lands. But they never come back, and yet more orphans rise. So that is what you'd gather, those 3 rumors.
Cool. When we meet up again, because I assume there's like a little break-ass cry wind, that they will let people know what they found.
I will corroborate the first 2 at least. Once we meet back up.
All right. As for Wary, since you are enjoying your time helping out and cooking some meals for people, give me a cook check with wisdom or dexterity, and then give me a gossip check.
I actually don't have gossip programmed in.
No.
I will roll it manually. Good to know.
Mm-hmm. All right. There's a few snippets of conversations between you and Ariaza, but overall it's just friendly chitter-chatter. Nothing that seems to give any pertinent information towards your group's current goal. But you're keeping up fairly well with them, and a lot of their conversation is praising you for how skilled you are with the kitchen itself. Since you are keeping up with them, and you can tell just from how they're working the kitchen, they are most certainly skilled. You might even consider them an expert within the field of culinary arts.
Well, I will take the praise cordially and actually try to learn from what they are doing.
Excellent. All right. You pick up a few helpful tips. How to stir certain things in the right way. When to spice something, when to flip something within the pan. How to properly season something without over seasoning it. Things like little tidbits. They're certainly helpful, but nothing that actively changes your skill at this point in time.
Yeah, makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Right. Overall, anything else you guys would like to do? Lunch itself takes about an hour and a half for the lunch rush to fully conclude, as people are just pouring in, eating their meals, and cooking is just for a full hour and a half. It's just busy in the kitchen. But you guys have some time to do stuff.
I'll, since we're just kind of eating lunch, look over at Ragnar. So what sort of things did you do before you got caught up in this. We didn't really have time to talk because everything was horrible.
Well, you know. What's the land it is? Well, I was a hunter in Ravenshire. Helped bring in some fresh game every now and then. Most of the time, took on orders from the local shops, getting them hide pelts from the various beasts out there. Then, well, then the Baron got a little too zealous, and she would say that in very hushed tones.
Understandable. Well, at least it's not boring, I suppose.
Certainly not boring. But well, I wish we didn't have to do what we have to do.
Well, maybe one day soon. I mean, look at all we've accomplished. It's gone absolutely swimmingly. We've only all almost died a handful of times.
Well, I wouldn't say it is entirely incorrect. I mean, we made it alive, even if it were by the skin of our teeth. Is that the saying? We made it out of it. I think that's worthy enough, as it were.
Yeah, growing pains.
Yes.
Besides, I mean, can't all be. The one good thing about bad luck is that it's pretty good when it turns around.
True indeed. Speaking of bad luck, or hopefully good luck, if the others aren't okay, figured they would be here by now.
I was actually going to ask if Fry had some ability to contact them, but I mean, they had to deal with much worse weather than we did.
You hear him, so here you go. I mean, maybe they do.
They're a hardy bunch. I'm sure we'll be seeing them soon. Not to mention we got here stupidly fast.
We're dealing with trolls, though.
Right. They seem to know their way around things, and they had the erstwhile support of the monastery.
How effective are monks against trolls, though?
Well, those monks didn't seem to be, They seem to know their way around certain things. They knew what was out there, and I don't know about you, but I saw a few of them shoot fire, so...
Okay.
If they live near the trolls, they must be pretty adept with dealing with them. I mean, the things are not always as they seem. Just the previous morning I would have said, oh, a few dogs are perfectly fine. Nothing we can't handle.
Yeah.
And then, you know, the dogs.
Yes.
Yes.
The dogs.
Really hope there's not more of those here.
Are you sure we shouldn't have burned the tower down, just in case?
One, that would take time. Two, that would be noticeable. And three,
Scraw!
I'm pretty sure it was haunted.
Fair.
Besides, we have personal business to attend to here.
Yes.
We need to thank Marathas for all of the blessings he's inflicted upon people. Invited upon people. Obviously, that's what I meant.
Yes. perhaps we should gather the others, see about a game plan for tomorrow? I mean,
Right.
seems like we'll probably be here for the evening at the very least.
We'll pretty much be here for as long as we need. I may have been very zealous in my information gathering.
I'll go, gather up Cry then.
Oh, we might as well head up, I suppose, if we wish for privacy.
Yes. We've, gather, wary. Head on upstairs.
Thana will go knock and get his attention.
Where he would look over and thank Areza for the tips and tricks, and say if she needs help again, where he's willing to help with the cooking because he's not good at anything else. He's not even good at that.
Happy to have a sous chef in the kitchen. It's always appreciated.
Well, maybe for dinner.
Wouldn't say no.
Or in here.
Alright.
Or as dinner.
Guys, heading on upstairs.
That, I believe, is the plan.
Alright. Shucky. Ducky.
Were you implying that she was going to eat Wary, or Wary was going to eat home?
No comment.
There'd be a knock upon your door, Cry.
Cry.
Well, this would be Cries, because they wanted the... Oh, or the... Never mind, there's multiple ones. That also works.
Who is it?
Magna?
Yeah, feel free to come in.
Door open. We're all gathering up, making a game plan if you want to join us.
Yes, of course. And, Cry will gather her, writing utensils and pack them away really quick.
Alright. Should we do it in your room again, or balcony maybe?
Oh, I would have no objections to that.
Right. Shucky. Ducky.
I will sit at the table and continue to transcribe their scroll as we're talking.
Excellent. Alright. Now that we're away from the roar of the crowd, what is our plan for tomorrow? Or the evening, even? And, the others were mentioning, is there perhaps a way that you can contact Ternath and the others? Could I? See where they be?
I do not know any long-distance communication spells.
That's a shame.
I am actually transcribing a one that we will be able to use right now.
Ooh.
I am transcribing Dark Whispers into my book.
Mm.
Honestly, if we had an ETA on their time frame, that would help us, because I'm pretty sure they won't want outsiders here if something happens to befall Malrath.
Well, they did have, what was the ranger's name?
Ternath?
Yes. They did have Tyrnel with them. I believe he knows how to use animal messengers. We may get word of when they complete their mission.
I'm not... Can that find us without him knowing specifically where we are, or...? Actually, I'm pretty sure that's not what I.
I don't know what version of
Oh,
Animal Messenger
so-
Sage is using.
It's essentially sending.
It's birdie sending.
Well, if we want to, if we want to go check out the lumber mill, see if we can help some of their problems. I don't know if they attack during the evening, but the more investigating we do, the more we might draw the ire of Malrathis. I don't fancy waiting until Sunday, but perhaps we'll just see what the morning brings. We could always do some reconnaissance at night, I suppose.
Later in the evening, I will check with my raven I have following Mother Strauss, I think. See if
Well,
it has picked up anything.
we ought to be careful if she's a hag. They are not usually known for their friendliness.
So
Or
I've
for
heard.
running orphanages.
Well, no, they run orphanages all the time.
Yes, that's what I was getting at. Like, I was being wry.
And I was being literal. It's an easy source, if you know what I mean.
Yes, I was trying not to say eat nay the Ildren Shay.
I'm sorry. What is she doing to them?
Yeah, you see, that's exactly why I was not about to bring that up.
Let's just say it's what you were doing earlier in the kitchen. But was ingredients nearby.
Anyways,
I never know if you're serious.
There does not appear to be any invisible creatures within this chamber.
Just
Good. Good. That means I haven't lost my touch.
Yeah, we're new. Sorry.
So are we going to deal with this hag then, or?
Suspected hag. We don't have any actual evidence.
Oh, so she might not be eating the children.
Okay, look, I'm not saying we start cutting our way through. It should just be wary, even if she isn't. We
I
should
am
be
always
cautious.
wary.
Realized it immediately after I said it. We should be cautious, even if they happen to be a well-intentioned hag. Hags are still creatures of the Fae, and by nature they are generally mischievous and not too understanding of being looked in upon.
How does this country view moon elves, Sage?
They're not humans, but they're better than beast folk.
Some say the same about my kind, Garrison. We can't be too hasty in our decisions.
Okay, well then, I'm sure most people probably wouldn't be too understanding of being spied on by strangers. Sorry, I'm trying to think of potential early warnings. I think we agree that we're even if it weren't for our original task of gathering medicine, we have other reasons to see our goals accomplished.
If all else fails, we did get a teleportation circle scroll from the tower.
That reminds me, is there a waypoint here that we could attune to?
Roll me a cartographer's.
Speaking of that tower, if
3.
I recall, I found the cure for whatever was poisoning the people in it, and there was a statue of a man. Perhaps we could cure the statue.
Got a 16.
With a 16, you know the closest way shrine would be the Duskwood one, which is across the river, southeast of you. You've already tuned to it. You do not know of anyone that's around Duskwitch. But you do know that there is a Menhir stone, which is similar to the way shrines, but not quite the same. They use a different network. They are powered through primal energy rather than through arcane.
I got 27.
What are your lures?
I have lore in binding, vestiges, slavers, trading, blood rituals, contracts, and draconic blood money.
It's an interesting list of lures.
I am totally not a dark mage. I don't know what you're talking about.
All right. You would know that supposedly, this is just a rumor, but supposedly there was a rising of stones circling a well within the ruins of Barendor, the dwarven settlement north of the Menhir stones that I mentioned earlier. They're not too far from your current position.
Cool.
It's likely, due to the nature of these dwarven settlements, that there's probably another one within Narvash Dun, which is further away from you guys, but it is still within that mountain range, but west of the previously mentioned dwarfish
We
ruin.
really need to get a teleportation thing that's close to Ravenshire.
Be helpful.
Hmm?
What do you make of all this? Ragna, you've been operating here a bit longer, well, around here a bit longer than we have.
Well, I know that townsfolk have always been fairly closed off, the most gracious towards newcomers. But something about the folks down there, it's different than before. Seems even less inviting than before, if that makes sense.
Seems
Suppose
friendly enough.
maybe going down there next, we could throw up a few spells before we head through, maybe see if they're being charmed or something. That could just be simple propaganda.
Perhaps. I don't have the selection there, but I can certainly about if we need, like a wound stitch or something like that.
Well, I can detect such things, but
Oh, that's perfect then.
that does make me wonder, is Malrathis on the Baron side or his own?
The townsfolk here don't seem to be particularly keen towards the Baron. I didn't see any symbology of the Baron on the guard downstairs.
He seemed-
You discount the possibility that there are other sides.
Oh, that gentleman. He does seem like he could be someone that would help us if we helped him. He doesn't seem too fond of Malrathis. I don't know if that's... It seems born of more than just malice than simple jealousy. Well, not mal, you know what I mean, suspicion.
Certainly. How would we about talking to him in that case then? Is it a possible ally?
I invited him for a chat, maybe once things calm down a little bit, once people are a little more deep in their cups, maybe a little more ignorant of folks talking bad about their man of faith.
Keep someone in the rooms here then, if there is an open invitation to him. You have any other potential leads here?
Oh, there's always checking the lumber mill, but they're probably not going to just let us in during the day.
Especially with the Malrathis' block seemingly protecting it.
Protecting it from what?
And then could I say there was a bunch of beasties wandering around it?
She'll look towards Cry.
I'm sorry,
Oh,
I was in the
Did
kitchen.
I?
Your
The-
rumors, remember? How the lumber
Oh.
mills all shoops and whoops.
Oh, the potential fiend that's in the woods near it.
Yeah.
If we take care of their fiend problem, we may be able to get them a bit more on our side. That'll allow us to investigate.
We could certainly hunt the creatures that are plaguing them. It would be a way to invite Malrathis' ire without immediately confronting him, but if he draws out a conflict in the open, we might lose the chance to see what he knows about our particular medicinal needs.
Going to be honest, I am good at hitting things and cooking. Sort of.
Speaking of cooking, what are your thoughts on the chef? Seemed different from the other townsfolk.
She seems pleasant enough. She's a very excellent cook. I am very impressed with her skill set. She said that I was comparable, actually, which surprised me. No one seems to like my cooking in this group.
That is certainly interesting.
Anyway,
I'm
she's
not.
taught me a few tricks and whatnot. So,
I tend to believe in keeping attracts a certain type. They've been the only people so far that we've really met that have been kindly to us, yourself excluded.
Yeah, that's certainly fair enough. Kind of part of the job, isn't it?
I have a unique. I used to be in a position where a certain demeanor was demanded, so I'm not really used to picking up on things like that.
Right then.
Not that it makes me feel any better. It's right, yeah, but she could certainly be helpful. She seems to want to free the town from this parlor if we present ourselves as such. I'm sure she would be interested in helping. Excuse me.
So then, for the rest of the day, we just kind of stick around, look around, gather information, maybe restock supplies. I saw a store just across the way. And later tonight, perhaps, to look over towards Thana, some of our more stealthy fellows give a look around town. And in the morning, we can head out to the lumber mill, maybe?
It's not a bad idea. I don't know how early they get up, but we should probably maybe try to beat them there. Maybe we can clear the way of any hazards before they do. You said, Cry, that they seem to be just vanishing, or was that I?
if
Both of us.
if people are vanishing, we should not go off on our lonesomes. Teams
Well,
of
I
two,
mean,
at least.
that seems reasonable. Sorry, I was off in my own little headspace there for a moment. That seems funny.
Right then. And, if that guard comes by, who do you want to stay up by the rooms in case they do?
Well, I probably should, just because I'm the one that's introduced him. Uh, Probably not Thana, just in case. Or are you going by? Yeah, you're going by Thana, right? Who am I
They are.
asking?
They are going by Thana, yes.
Uh, Thana should probably be elsewhere, but I suppose I could use either yourself or Cry, someone who might be able to know a little bit more about the local area, maybe corroborate things that he's saying.
She'll look towards Cry.
You up for that?
Honestly, you have a better assessment of your abilities than any of us do, I think, except perhaps Ragna and Thana. Honestly, I have no idea what it is that you. I'm just gonna ask, what's your thing? I've never seen your particular kind of magic before.
The magic I have learned is binding magic. I've learned how to bind extraplanar beings to myself and siphon some of their magic to use myself.
So in the tower, when you became more rakish, that was an extra planar entity influencing your behavior.
Yes, that one specifically was a trusted vestige of mine, Nabarus, the Grinning Hound. He
I
prefers when I use his full title.
I do not know what this means. Trusted. Does that mean you have a more symbiotic relationship, or
It is a fairly mutual one. Yes, I give them a little bit of. It is definitely some give and take.
ah? Well, I appreciate the explanation, but I I still leave it to you to decide where your talents lie best.
Uh, During my time with the rebellion, mostly I was mostly used for you know back end stuff, writing notes, sending messages, that type of thing.
Either
Sending me onto field work is very new and different for me.
Either way, whatever you decide, I do think it's best I stay here to, if this gentleman shows up. Plus, if trouble occurs, I can probably hold off until all of you return.
Right then. Is there anything we want to get done before the evening?
If they sell it here, if anyone doesn't, you should probably get a silvered weapon.
Fair enough. I'll check out the local shop if they have any.
I do need to go buy some holy water. After our fight in the tower, I picked up a healing spell from the scrolls, but it requires holy water as a catalyst to cast it.
Well, I didn't see a chapel in town. But maybe I did see a general store. Maybe they sell that. Otherwise, you might be out of luck there.
If they don't, the only source would probably be Malrathis. In fact, I'd be surprised if he wasn't hoarding those things.
Agreed.
Did we split Ragna in on the literal money?
I'll
I
go
don't
look at
think
her
that
sheet.
should.
Doesn't look like she was given a split now.
I'll take I'll take my coin pouch, which now is about 210 gold. Toss it over. Yeah, use that for whatever you need, and I'm sure we'll all even it out later. It's not no amount of gold is worth dying for.
Thanks.
Perhaps if you need more gold, I do have a silvered claymore that I probably will never use again.
And I'm not the most comfortable with two-handed weapons, but I still always give it a go.
Oh, I was more meaning you could probably use it as a trade or something for
Oh,
something.
I see.
Yes.
Sure, I'll see if there's anything you can trade it for then. Right. Anything else to be done? Before I head out?
Nothing that comes to mind.
Right.
So, we are meeting up to go investigate the woods tonight, or are we doing that tomorrow morning?
If the lumberjacks here are anything like they are back in Ravenshire, they likely wake up bright and early. If we wanted to beat them there, we'll probably have to leave in the, well, early AMs. Like 2, 3 AM maybe?
I suppose we could get up in the middle of the evening. Try to maybe see if we catch this dustling, smuggling.
Smuggling, yes.
Either way, I don't think we're going to both be able to go on a late night hunt and an early morning visit to a lumber mill. Sounds headache inducing at the very least.
Indeed.
I don't
We
know.
will
Smuggling
rest,
doesn't sound that tasty.
rest early tonight, head out early tomorrow.
Sounds like a plan. Could lie low.
Okay. I will make sure that everyone's awake then.
I'll go check out the smithy then. She'll give a nod and head on out. Now, for the party's note, are you wanting to do anything else for the day?
I am copying as many spells as I can.
Alright.
I
That makes
don't
sure I can.
have anything in particular.
Is anyone else going to the smithy with her?
To your point, we just said not to travel alone, right?
Well,
Yeah.
we can have Lunara go with her, or
Thana.
Thana.
Alright.
Because they were also going to go like stealthily check out the town after, weren't they?
Yeah, that works. You know,
Alright.
kind of. They're both NPCing it at the moment.
So, if there's nothing else anyone wishes to do, at this point, I will be calling the session here, as what is remaining is very much gonna get spicy, and I feel like with how RP mystery heavy this particular section is going to be, or can be, that is probably something that Remy would prefer not to miss. And
Yeah,
since it's
fair
probably
enough.
about to get to their portion of this mystery stuff where they're going to stealth around and do their roguey thing,
Fair enough.
kind of their thing. But hope you guys had fun.
I am obliged to remind that we will not be here on the 17th. So that would be me, you. Do you want to
17th is-
do?
yeah.
Do you want to do the 10th, and then I'll resume mine back on the 24th, so we stay on schedule.
Sounds like a plan.
Okay, cool. Sounds good.
All right.
But hope you guys had fun, and I'm gonna see if there's anyone I can raid. Oh yeah.
Oh, it's Neon Divide, the grade crystal or red.
Let's see here.
Also, thank you for joining us.
Sure, let's raid a crystal.
How much hours do I have? Off these spells.
You would have the full 8 hours of day downtime for this day.
Sweet. Cool.
All right, and it's time to raid the crystal. Haha! And our raid has been sent, and our stream is down.